Welcome back, everybody. My name is Clayton Miller with Makeover Homes, bringing you another awesome Makeover University course for all the realtors out there. This one is called How to Shop Like a Makeover Realtor. This is arguably the most important module we're going to go through, so make sure you pay attention. We're going to cover the first appointment and how that should go, how to scout for homes, how you're going to go about looking for homes that fit this equation, so to speak. We're going to talk about scheduling your tours. We're going to talk about how to actually make that offer. I know we've gone over it a few times, but we're going to go into it a little bit further. And then what that next step is when you're going to order that contractor. So again, this is how to be that realtor, how to be that makeover realtor. Very important. Pay attention. And if you have any kind of questions or thoughts or concerns on any of this, please feel free to email me at clayton@makeover-homes.com. So you've been introduced, and now it's time to call your client and schedule that first meeting. So as we've been over before, when you get that introduction email, within 24 hours, we want you to pick up that phone, give the client a call, and set up your first meeting with them. Now, this is kind of up to you. Every realtor has their own style, so whether it be a video chat or a coffee in the morning at your local cafe, a lunch, bring them into your office, whatever is going to be most comfortable for you to learn a little bit more about your client and kind of get the process set up is going to be the right move. So you should already have their wish list, so you know the basics of what that client is looking for. You should already have their pre-approvals, so you know how much that client could spend. And if we've got the deep dive completed and filled out, we will have sent that to you. So all of those things will give you a really good start and a good heads up on what this client is after. So when you meet with that client, try to figure out what they use their home for. When I walk through with a client, I always try to figure out what they do 95% of the time, rather than what's the thing they do, once or twice a year. So are you an entertaining family? Do you have a bunch of kids that always come over? Do you have any kids at all? Do you like to spend most of your time outside? Do you like to spend most of your time in the kitchen, cooking? Are you a chef kind of family? Whatever it might be, you want to really break down with that client what they use their home for, because that's going to help you determine what kind of house you're looking for when you go shopping. The other thing that's really good to do is to coach your client through what it is they're looking for. A lot of people watch HGTV, they look on Pinterest, and they see all these cool ideas, and somebody may want to have a wine cellar that's below their kitchen countertop. One of those wild ideas. Although super cool, and by all means we can do it, maybe not one of those things that's super practical unless this is a wine connoisseur of some kind or a collector, and this is a really big part of their life. So we want to make sure we coach people to really look for that house that they're going to use for the 95% of the time rather than the 5%. So be creative. This is a really awesome opportunity using the Makeover Mortgage Process to create something. You're not stuck with the mold of what homes are currently available out there. You get to go into a home and basically design it, change it, and make it into something unique. So the more you can learn about your client during this first meeting, the better. That's just going to make you a lot better at shopping for either the finished home or the shell or the skeleton of the home that you can then turn into their finished home. So now it's time to talk about how to scout for homes. And the first thing we want to make sure we take into account is what that client's all-in price is, or maybe what that client's all-in want price is. So those aren't necessarily the same thing. Just because the lender says that client is approved for a $400,000 house doesn't necessarily mean that's what they want to spend. So make sure you talk to your client and make sure they are willing and they are able to spend up to their limit if that's what the lender allows them. Or if they feel more comfortable with a smaller house payment, a little smaller house, you want to know what that final number is. So once you determine that final number, now you can start shopping for homes in that price range, and then homes that can become a home in that price range. So let's just say that they're pre-approved for $300,000, but they would prefer to just spend $250,000. That means we can buy either a $250,000 house that's done, or a $200,000 house that has a $50,000 renovation. Or if they lean towards more of a heavy renovation kind of project, they can buy a house in the $100,000 range, and now they've got a $150,000 budget, which is a super healthy renovation budget. You can get quite a bit done with that. So figuring out what your client's all in, or what they want to be all in for, is very, very important, because that gets this whole process started. The next step is to determine the ARV of the houses in your price range. So we're going to go ahead and stick with the $250,000 range for this example and for the next couple slides. So the ARV is the after renovated value. So their after renovated value needs to be $250,000. There's a number of different ways to get to that, but the way we want to start is by looking for homes in their area. What kind of neighborhood are they looking for? Which counties are they searching in? We want to look for homes in that area that have sold for around the $250,000 mark. So we're kind of pulling comps, so to speak, to see what $250,000 gets us. Then, once we have a snapshot, in our mind, that's a three bed, 2 bath, 2,000 square foot house with a 2-car detached garage or attached garage on a small lot in a neighborhood. Let's just say that's what $250,000 gets you. Now you know what the end goal is. So once you have the end goal in mind, you can start shopping for houses in all kinds of different price ranges. So here I've got 4 different homes. One of them sells for $250,000. That's your 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,900 square foot. It's got your attached garage sitting in a nice neighborhood. Done. If they like that house, make an offer, you're ready to go. Then you look at this next one to the right. It's listed for $220,000, 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,400 square foot. So it is a little bit smaller. However, at $220,000, we've got $30,000 worth of renovation to work with. So that may be the addition of a large patio and living outdoor space in the backyard. That could be a small bump out that's going to add to the master bath and make it much larger. It could be a number of different things. Then you go down to the $180,000 house. This one's a 3 bed, 2 bath, and it's reading 2,900 square foot. So that tells me, subtract the basement, we're probably looking at something more like 1,600 square foot. So this is a little bit smaller house. However, at $180,000, we can go up to $250,000. So we've got $70,000 worth of renovation budget to work with. So that could be the addition of an entire room. That could be the addition of a 2-car garage, because I don't see a garage in this photo. Or it could be an upgrade to their kitchen and bathrooms and all new floors. So with a $70,000 budget, now we've got some serious renovation money to do something really cool with the home. And then the final one is $150,000. This is a 2 bed, 1 bath with 1,500 square feet. Again, I don't see a garage, but we've got $100,000 to spend. So on a project like this, maybe we add a small addition off the back and build a garage. That gives us more square footage, also gets us that garage. In all of these scenarios, we're going to be all in at that $250,000 price. So figuring out the ARV of these projects, that final goal, that after renovated value, and what kind of house that gets you is very, very important. And you need to keep that in mind when you're shopping for homes and thinking, maybe that can turn into that $250,000 house that we're after.